All right, who are you? How old are you? Where you're from? And what are you doing up in Tromsø?
So, hey everybody, my name is Luka. I'm 26. I'm a BJJ black belt from Serbia. I'm currently coaching in Tromsø in Norway, far up north. It's been 2 years now that I've been coaching, and currently I'm in Bodo visiting and doing a seminar.
Yeah, we just had 3 hours yesterday with the crucifix position, and I must say that was really nice seminar. It was different to have a seminar where we actually had some like live sparring also. I really enjoy that.
Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, without resistance you can't grow. That goes for everything, not just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's true. And it was like a good balance. It was not like just 3 hours of sparring. It was lots of technique, and then specific drilling, and then more live drilling, and then like what we call King of the Hill.
Yeah,
we actually use that every training.
Yeah, that's a good way to get some specific rounds. It was hard to apply for the crucifix position, so that's why we did a little bit of the open guard.
Yeah, it was nice.
Thanks.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about how long have you were 2 years in the club?
Yeah.
But how long have you been in Norway?
Same time. So yeah, okay. I moved in to Norway in November 2016, and I'm here in Norway because of my girlfriend. She brought me here. So since we didn't want to be one of those couples getting married for papers, we tried to do it the proper way of trying to get a work permit through jiu-jitsu, which was basically halfway to impossible because there was only one person before that getting that visa. And basically first I applied, got denied, got it for a year, applied again, got denied again. Now I got it again until April. So
okay, so it's
fun times with the immigration.
So it's like a little bit stressful with can you stay?
Yeah, basically like since last April until December I couldn't leave the country without being banned to re-enter for like 6 months, because that's how the immigration law works. Yeah. If you don't have a visa, if you're in the appeal process, then you can stay and work. So basically every phone call, every email, every letter that I got until I opened it, I was like, oh my god, I have to leave. So tell me a little bit about your club up in Tromsø, and how you kind of built it up. Well, when I started, I took it over from Alex Mendes. He is a blue belt still, but he got injured, but he built up the club to a certain degree. So when I took over, it wasn't that hard. Basically, when I started, we had like 3 classes, I think 2 gi classes and 1 no gi. Now we have, I think, 15 or 16 classes per week. 1 group for kids, 1 group for beginners, 1 group for competitors. We also added morning classes for guys who either have, let's say, a busy schedule with a family and work and everything, so they like to train in the morning. That's also starting to grow, because there's a lot of guys who like jiu-jitsu. How early do you have those? 7 a.m. Okay. Yeah, but it's only tough for me because I have to wake up at like 6:20 to get ready and catch the bus. So I'm trying to see if any of my blue belts will take over for that one. Yeah. Seems like a good idea until you have to get up in the morning. Exactly. But when I started, it was mostly white belts. Now I finally promoted some guys to the blue belt, and I can say quality blue belt without humble bragging. So I'm happy to see that we reached a completely new level in the gym from when I started, and barely getting people to train. And you like to have a bit of a competition focus in your jiu-jitsu? Yeah, I mean, I want to have everybody compete and have a big competition team, which is impossible, and I know. But I like to have people at least test themselves to see if they like it or not. If they like it, then they can compete. If they don't like it, then I'll respect that. If they're older or injury prone, or they're not interested in it, then I don't push them. So now I've shifted more the focus, like if you want to compete, I'll put you in the competition group, or if you want that kind of training. If not, then that's still okay, because even for the other groups, they're not doing any weaker training. They're just doing, like, let's say less details and 1 hour instead of 2 hours of training, because we train 1 hour technique, then you can stay for the 1 hour of sparring, or you can leave whenever. So then it's not as hard on the body as it seems.
How do you feel? Like, what's your opinion on competition? Like, from your perspective, how was it for you, and what do you think are the benefits of competing?
Well, benefits are you improve faster. Jiu-jitsu is like a lot of other things in life. The more time you put in it, the better you get. Of course, if you do it with the idea of improving. If you just do it for the idea of winning, that can take you only so far. But if you don't improve on things, you're gonna get caught in something after a while, and that shows for everybody in jiu-jitsu. But for me, the benefit is like one competition, as they say, gives you like 3 months of progression immediately, because you get exposed immediately to the things that you're good at, you're bad at, and the most important thing is that you grow from it. Yeah. If you get pushed, you see how tough you are, or even if you lose and you pushed yourself a little bit, you still grew as a person more than 5 minutes before that. So for me, competition is a nice way to improve, but it's not the end goal of jiu-jitsu. The end goal of jiu-jitsu is, for me, it's just improvement and having fun through it.
Yeah. So, in regards to self-defense, how do you do any of that in your classes? Or?
Sometimes I gotta say that I gotta work on it more. We usually do self-defense in the beginning, and self-defense in areas, and then we switch more to the more competition jiu-jitsu stuff. But still, all of the stuff that I teach is basics, and they're what makes the self-defense the aspect of jiu-jitsu. So it's not that unrelated. I don't do the spinning, inverting stuff. Of course, I do it sometimes, but that's not the focus of our jiu-jitsu. Basically, I give my students an overall game plan, and then they can shift into guard ideas for MMA if they want to do the MMA classes, or they can do more competition stuff if they want to be more complicated. So basically, my idea is to teach you enough, and after that, you're going to be self-sufficient, because by the time that you get to a purple belt, you don't need anybody to tell you what your game is going to be. You're just going to basically swim. Yeah, you're gonna get dragged into it, whether you like it or not.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you got started with jiu-jitsu, if you want to?
Yep. I was bullied a lot in middle school and high school, and I was overweight and played a lot of video games. So basically, I was not supposed to be a black belt by the perspective of that. So I started with a style of Aikido, then I started with jiu-jitsu. Just because I rolled with a friend and he tapped me out so many times that I was like, okay, I like this, and let's see how it is. And it was way harder than Aikido. And then I just quit Aikido and switched to Jiu-Jitsu. I was awful at Jiu-Jitsu for the first year and a half, but I put a lot of time in it, and I told myself, if this is going to be the hardest thing that I'm going to do in my life, then I'm going to be good at this. So later on, I found out there are some harder things to do in life, but physically, in regards to physical things, there's of course harder things than getting smashed in jiu-jitsu that can happen in life. So I'm not talking about those. Before somebody says like, what if this happens?
Yeah. And then your whole time you were studying jiu-jitsu in Serbia?
Yeah. So I started with my coach, who was a blue belt at that time. So we didn't have like travels to Brazil or black belts to train, or a higher level. Like the highest level was a purple belt that was in the other club. So it was pretty low level in that case. Like for white and blue levels, we had European champions, which was pretty good, but in all regards it wasn't that much of a high level in our club, because we just started out. So yeah, I started in that one, and we basically just watched instructionals, trained, and tried to analyze every aspect of the game to see what we can improve on, because we don't believe in like just brute strength and bench pressing people out of side control approach to jiu-jitsu. my idea is like basically like an arms race. Like the more information I have about jiu-jitsu and I understand it better, the better I'm gonna do it. And then on top of that, you add strength and speed and endurance and all of the other things.
So you're kind of like me. You're kind of like an instructional YouTube warrior. I
watch so many instructionals that my brain is fried. now I just watch like 30 seconds to see the essence and test it out in live sparring.
Well, with good information and lots of training, you can get to black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
You're a living proof.
Yes, I'm an instructor of jiu-jitsu black belt.
Nice.
Because my coach has a different style than I do, and I was much heavier before, so I couldn't play the same game. So I tested out my own style, and I got the nice results because I got a lot of medals from the competitions in the Balkans. But due to the finances, I couldn't test it out in a lot of places in Europe. But hopefully now I'll be able to see how my approach works.
Yeah, you plan to compete more?
Yeah, finally this year I'm hoping to go to as many competitions as I can. So that's like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So still, it's good to get back to it.
Yeah. Finally, I have a lot of things that I improved and I wanted to test out, and now I don't feel any pressure on myself. So I'm just basically doing it to have fun and for my students to see that if I win, it's okay. If I lose, it's still okay because you're just going there to improve.
You're putting yourself out there. I think that means a lot to especially your students.
Yeah, like 2 years ago I went on a competition and I got tapped out by a brown belt and I'm a black belt, and I was like, yeah, okay, well, it happens. And it gave me a lot of things to work on, so now I'm actually like twice as better than then. So I'm actually pretty happy that happened, to have the exposure to
They say that most people remember their losses much more than their wins.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's you can also improve a lot from winning, but when you win, you're like, okay, I did everything perfect. I did everything right. Then I have to improve.
Yeah.
But it's actually pretty wrong perspective on it.
Yeah.
It's just that the losing burns more than small mistakes in winning. So
yeah,
that's why you remember it.
Well, now we're at the train station and you're gonna leave for Fauske. So thank you so much for the seminar. Thank you so much for the interview and for the time with the pizza and the beer.
No beer.
No beer. Sorry. Yeah. Sprite it was. Yes.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it and can't wait to come again.
Cool, man.